Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Not sure what I'm calling this show yet. Obviously, by the time I push it up, I'm going to have to give it a title, so I'll figure that out at some point here soon. But a lot of the times, it's more just the message that we're trying to get out. And what really came to me on this one, I get a lot of people that ask questions. Let me try to see if I can frame this good and then make this a little more of an entertaining show to a degree. But a lot of us are looking out at the universe, looking out at our lives, right? And certain things happen, signs a lot of us are talking about. And we see these as indications as to where we're going and where we're heading. So far, I'm pretty much on board. But what a lot of people do is they ask for signs to give guidance as to what they should do. And that's really the key of this entire video. A lot of us, whenever we've asked that question, even internally, what should I do? What do you want, universe? Universe, what is going to work for me? Universe, what is the path for me? Universe, what is right for me? And we see everything outside of ourselves. And truly, I mean, the simple answer to this, and you can just stop watching the video, everything's inside of ourselves. There you go. You're done. You got it. Go ahead. Go away. You got it. Everything is inside of ourselves. Huh? What? I know. Way too simple, right? What happens outside of ourselves comes from inside of ourselves, right? We create, for those of you that have been following Law of Attraction for any length of time, right? That's how it works. For those of you that are newer, we call it a focus-based universe. We talk about what you focus on is what you create in your reality. So, the important key here is signs follow focus. You focus first, then the signs come to show you what you have been focusing on. Signs aren't indicative of the future per se. Granted, what you focus on and continue to focus on is the reality you create. And by continuing to focus on that, certain things will pop up into your life, certain opportunities that you'll interact with will occur, and things will progress towards that focus. The sign itself is not showing the future. It's not. The sign is showing what you've been focusing on. So that we've got that understood, and that's a really important distinguishment. I don't even think that's a word. It's a really important thing to point out. A distinguishing thing. There we go. So the signs that happen to us are created by us yesterday, essentially. What we were thinking about, focused on yesterday, is what we are experiencing today. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are looking for guidance on whether they should continue down the path of their specific person, whether they should look for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love in too many faces, right? Looking for love in all the crazy places out there. Maybe they're hoping to find a new job. They're looking for some sort of guidance. And so a lot of us put it out there as, universe, give me a sign if this is what I'm supposed to do. Probably one of the most common questions I get asked, certainly something I've done a bunch of times, and that's kind of how I came to this understanding of it. A lot of us are looking for guidance from the universe. We're looking for a sign to show us what way to go, to show us that, yes, you're on the right track, to show us, good job, you're doing what you should be doing. But that's not how it works. That's not what's been laid out before us. That's not the rules of the game. That's not what's been created before us by Creator. The question's actually very simple. Most of us don't realize that it comes from inside, that it comes from us, that it is our choice. What do you want to experience? So many of us are asking, show me a sign if so-and-so is okay for me. Show me a sign if Rachel is who I should be with. Show me a sign if Tom is a good choice for me. Show me a sign if Tom and I, Larry and I, can be together. Show me a sign if Denise and myself will have the strength to make it through our relationship. Every single one of these things that I've posed, asking for a sign, is something that is completely within my choice. 100% my choice. Not universe. Universe doesn't care. Universe doesn't care. Higher power doesn't care. It's not what it's about. It created this place for us, this wonderland, this playground, so we could decide what we want to experience and create that and experience it. Period. There's no right or wrong. There's no left or right. There's no up or down. So every time any of us kind of get to that place where we're like, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Is it okay if I do this? Is it not okay if I do this? First off, when you manifest, I always recommend, if this is in the best interests of all involved, then make it so. I like to put that in there as a caveat because it makes me feel better about what I'm trying to manifest. If what I'm trying to manifest is not a benefit to other people, obviously it benefits me because I want it, but I want it to be a little bit larger than that. So if it benefits others in the same way it's benefiting me or in a positive way that benefits them, right? It benefits a good thing usually. Then cool, make it so. If it's not, if it's going to cause pain and discomfort in somebody's life because of what we're doing and it's something that's going to actually affect them in an adverse way, in a bad way, then I don't really want my manifestation to happen. And I'll figure out another way to get to where I'm trying to go. So I'm not asking if it's right or wrong. I'm hitting it up more from the people involved. Is this good for all involved? So there's a fair question. And again, I put it as a caveat within my manifestation. When I'm making my acclamation or my claim, when I'm making my statement, my I am statement, when I'm thinking about and imagining the reality that I'd like to have, when I'm focused on where I'd like to go, the idea of making sure this benefits more than just me is always a part of that concept for me. So, from my standpoint, I'm covered, right? Outside of that, the question I always ask myself is, what would you like to experience, Dan? What would you like? Well, I don't know. Is it okay if I date so-and-so? Sure. Is it okay if I date this other person? Sure. What about if I date the one in front of me? Sure. Wait, it can't be okay to date all three of them. Yeah, no, it can. What do you want to do? What do you want? It's 100% our choice, what we manifest. That's what this whole concept's about. And for a lot of us, that's the hardest part of this, is the thinking of what do I want? So many of us, especially the ones that are probably finding my channel, because I'm guilty of this, it's kind of similar energies finding each other, right? I've been so geared and focused for most of my life in helping others that it becomes hard to help myself. It becomes hard to think about, what do I want? I enjoy helping other people. I get a big kick out of it. Well, what do I want? That's a really important question for most of us. Spending a little time figuring out what it is that you actually want, what you actually enjoy, what you actually deserve is key to all of this. That's why so many of us talk about going into the place where you do self-love, where you find out what it is about myself that makes me tick. What do I want? What do I need? What do I desire? Not, can Larry, Joe, Margaret, Sue, Mary, can any of them give it to me? No, that's not the question. That is not the question. It's not what can something outside of myself do for me? No. If you're ever looking that way, if you're ever, well, I'll be happy when, no. Well, but if they do this, then I'll be, no. It's never when this happens, then this happens. No, it's always this happens, then the outer thing happens. Always. It starts inside of you. Starts inside of you with as simple as just a belief of the way things are, then you're manifesting that into your daily life to constantly reinforce that belief, that thing that you know to be true. Well, the universe is like, all right, we'll make that your reality. That's what you're telling us. That's what we'll give you. We decided inside of ourselves. So when we get to this place where we're trying to decide, should I do this job? Should I go after this person? Should I walk down this street? Should I go down that dark alley? Give me a sign. First off, if you're going to go down the dark alley, listen to your intuition, please, right? If it feels sketchy and scary, probably not a good idea. Maybe go a different way. Try to stay where the streetlights are. But when it comes to people, what do you want to experience? And I'll tell you what, even if it's a bad choice, even if the person that you want to be with is not the right person for you, and I'm not saying they are, but if they are, hypothetically, the big if, the royal if, capital letters. If they're bad for you in some way, shape, or form, then you will attract that if you need to learn that lesson. If it's something you haven't figured out, maybe they're going to put you second in all things you do because your self-love and your self-esteem is damaged right now. So the person that you're going after is someone that's going to capitalize on that. And so, because you're attracted, remember, it's us pushed out. We attract what we are. And so if we're insecure, if we have insecurities about us, we are going to attract somebody that's going to capitalize on those insecurities, maybe take advantage of us, whatever, right? And if that's something that we attract to us because we are so determined to have so-and-so, we're so determined to get with Frank. But every time Frank and I get close, Frank doesn't give a crap about me at all. It's all about Frank. Halfway through the date, he's looking at his watch. You're like, you planning on going somewhere? Yeah, I've got some stuff I've got to do here in a little bit. I thought we were going to be hanging out for the evening. Well, we've been together an hour. Hour and a half. I figured that was plenty. That's not long enough? I'm sorry, sweetie. Well, we can try this again next week. Thanks. Bye. But aren't you going to pay for dinner? No, you got it. It's cool. Talk to you later. That's Frank. But I want him so badly. All right, well, keep going for him. But should I ask the universe if it's okay? No. It's up to you. Frank's not a good choice. Frank's a bad choice, in fact. But you don't know that. You don't realize that. You don't realize that you deserve more than Frank. So until you come to that reality, Frank is a great choice. Frank is going to help you figure out what makes you tick. Frank is going to help you figure out what really matters in a relationship to you. Frank is going to help you determine your best path. So a lot of us get very stuck on an individual because we think we have to have them, because we've got them built up in our minds, because we've made some colossal understanding of who they are once we place them on the pedestal. Ha ha, you look so good. I like to dust you off and shiny and it's so special. Problem is, many of these people that we put on pedestals are not worthy of it. And so again, we fall back to the standard, are they good for me? Universe, give me a sign if so-and-so is good for me. What's good for you mean? Good for you to figure out that you need to learn to love yourself more? Because that's good for you. It is good for you to figure out that you don't love yourself enough, or it's good for you to figure out that you're better than that you're higher than that you've got a higher intelligence than that you're more capable than that. Maybe it's a job, right? Oh, I don't know if I can do that. Give me a sign if I'm good enough for that job. No. Are you good enough or aren't you? If you don't believe in you, why would anyone else? You need to believe in you. You need to understand what you are after, what you desire. And then ask for that. Focus on that. Make that your experience. There's no right or wrong. There's no up or down. There's no should I or shouldn't I. It doesn't work like that. So one thing to keep in mind, signs are created by your yesterday. Signs were created by your focus yesterday. Signs are not created to show you what tomorrow is. Signs are shown to show you the direction you're heading based off of the focus you did yesterday. Signs are indications of the past, not the future. It's a big difference. And many of us have a hard time with that. Signs are cool, and they are indications that you are heading in the direction that you've been focusing on. But remember, the sign happens today because of what you were thinking about yesterday or 5 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago. The sign does not happen before the event. The sign happens after you spend the time focusing. We manifest our realities by what we focus on. The signs are indications that we're heading towards what we're focusing on. Yes, you can ask the universe to give you indications of answers to questions, without a doubt. But as most of you find out, as most of you see frequently, When we do this, it can become confusing, usually because many of us have multiple questions posed to the universe. And we're not clever enough necessarily, or it's too hard to keep track of all the different kinds of signs that we have out there defined for what these things mean. So if I see a butterfly that's orange and black, then that represents that me and my specific person are definitely going to get together next week. And if I see a ladybug that flutters its wings and then lands and is happy, then that means that they're definitely right for me. And if I happen to see an orange fizzy drink, I don't know, I'm just making that up. If I see an orange fizzy drink in someone's hand, well, that's his favorite drink, so I'll know, obviously, that he's thinking of me, right? And then all of a sudden, you're seeing, like, weird, like you saw an orange ladybug with black spots and a butterfly that's orange with white frosting around it, and then somebody was drinking an orange soda. Did I manifest my signs or no? Well, you manifested a mess is what you've manifested, and you're asking for stuff that you're just manifesting signs. You're just manifesting stuff. It's not necessarily demonstrating anything. The problem is most of us don't realize it's your choice. Is someone so good for you? Well, you'll figure that out. That's for sure. Can you be together? Well, I don't know. Do you want to be together? Then yes, you can be together because it's most important that you're on board. Are they going to love you forever and ever? I don't know. I don't know if there's ever any guarantees of that. Someone could love you forever, may still be a bad relationship choice. There's certainly people that I still love and I wouldn't want to bump into in real life because of how difficult it would be for me. But I'll tell you what, I never want to be with them again. One person in particular, and I adore her. I love her. In fact, if I saw her in real life in front of me, everything would probably come back as far as my feelings for them, but they're not a good person for me. It's not a good fit for me, for the way I am, for how I'm wired. And likewise, I'm not a good fit for her. That's why we broke up. And it was a good thing for both of us. And I'm grateful it happened. And I know she is too. She got her dream and her wishes. And by the way, she was probably the most influential person on my spiritual life. And again, I just have nothing but love for this person. Love her, adore her. I have no anger towards her at all. But I don't want to be in a relationship again with her. Not even close. I don't even want to see her down the street. I just don't need it. Not going to help me. So sometimes what's good for us is a little more subjective than what we think. Sometimes if someone's going to love us, doesn't necessarily mean what we are thinking it means. So instead of asking questions about whether something can or can't happen, something should or shouldn't happen, go for it. Focus on it. If there's a lesson in it, you'll find it. If it doesn't seem to work out, you should start to self-reflect and look at things a little differently and hopefully learn from it. And as you progress down that path, you will find how this manifestation works, how our evolution works, how we create in our lives. And you will start to see way more success in your manifesting. And most importantly, you're going to enjoy it more. It's actually a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun to work towards your manifestation. Even if you don't have what it is you're seeking yet, the process of getting there is actually fun, is fun. Seeing it happen, seeing the things occur, seeing doors start to open up in front of you and you're like, cool, I know where that's going. Yeah, it might be 6 more months before I actually see the pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, but I know that door just opened up and I know 6 months from now that's coming. My manifestation is happening because I've focused on it. And that sign indicates what I've been focusing on and it indicates where I'm heading. So long as I keep focusing on that same area, I'll get there. So, is it right? Is it wrong? Is it left? Is it right? It's up to you. The universe does not care. What do you want to experience? Make that your reality. That's how you do it. That's all it is. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. That is how you do it. Hopefully, this makes a difference for all of you. If you guys like what I'm doing and you want to support my channel, I always appreciate that, of course. Please subscribe, first off, if you haven't done that. You can click the little bell icon and put the little lines next to it. That'll let you know whenever I've got new videos out. You can also do one of the greatest things that YouTube loves about people on YouTube, and certainly it'll help my channel. If you're liking, commenting, and sharing my videos with anybody, you are doing some of the most helpful things that you can possibly do. And certainly, when you watch them, That always makes a big difference for me, too. And I appreciate that. Appreciate each and every one of you. Want to thank you guys. It's Dan RadioStyle. We got more great shows coming your way. Appreciate all of you. Thank you.